Hey guys, so I just finished watching, or I just finished my Pedro Almodovar film festival. I watched 9 of his films on Criterion Channel, and I have to say he's a master. Now I know why Quentin really loves his work. I think it's really fun to really delve deep into a filmmaker's body of work, and he's been working since the 80s, and so it's been really fun to just go through everything, 80s, 90s, 2000s, up until now. And his work is really unique and one of a kind. He does a little bit of everything in terms of genre, and it's really genuine because you never feel like he's trying to do that. You feel that he's genuinely curious, and he does his own take, his own, no matter what the genre is, there's a specific point of view there. Whether it's, his point of view on sex and um, women, women relationships, and women and men relationships, but it's been really fun to look at his work and really write about it and just read reviews about it. But here's my ranking so far on the 9 films that I saw. First one, I'm gonna go with Talk to Her. It's just a masterpiece, and it should be a double feature with Strangers on a Train, Hitchcock film. But Talk to Her has so many images that are unforgettable, and there's even one mini movie in Talk to Her. There's a silent film in Talk to Her that is just genius and just so brave and daring, and it's amazing. You have to see it. And also Talk to Her. It's such a Almodóvar film because you're genuinely just asking yourself as you're watching it, what's gonna happen next, and what is really going on, and what kind of film is this, But it's really intense. So I'm gonna go with Talk to Her. And the second one, I'm gonna go with Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. Really funny, kind of like a play because it's the contained location, but it's really funny, really fun. Um, so many different, just so many cool looking shots, and especially in all of his work. But now that I think about it, those 2 films, you really see Almodovar's passion for cinema and just how much he loves classic cinema. Um, and then I also noticed, looking at his work, how yeah, he's influenced by classic cinema, but he's outgrown those influences, and he's really doing his own thing in whatever genre he chooses. Whether it's melodrama, thriller, even a musical. He's done a musical, which I'm gonna see. Um, okay, so we have Talk to Her, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. Then I'm gonna go with The Flower of My Secret. It's a melodrama, really in the style of Douglas Sirk. The colors are amazing in it, just beautiful. Um, but it's really interesting. Um, then I'm gonna go with Matador. That's probably the first Almodovar film I saw, and Antonio Banderas plays like a telepathic bullfighting student. Is really fun. Um, then I'm gonna go with number 5. I'm gonna go with um, The Skin I Live In, also starring Antonio Banderas. Um, he plays a much colder and just harsh surgeon slash dad who his daughter gets raped, and it's really intense. How he gets revenge, really intense, and just that's number five. Okay, no. Talk to her. Women on the verge of nervous breakdown. The flower of my secret matador. Yes, number five. Skin I live in. Number six, I'm gonna go with Volver, which is Penelope Cruz. That might have been the second Almodóvar film I saw, but the rest number six for me. It's kind of a character study, but it's kind of like really similar to Fellini in what he did with Armacord. It's really about Pedro's memories of his upbringing in a small town in Spain. It's an interesting take on family and death, but and sort of afterlife, I guess you could say. But all right, so number seven, I'm gonna go with All About My Mother. It reminded me of a Brian De Palma Hitchcock film. I didn't really care for it in terms of story, but he does tackle interesting topics like AIDS and the issues that transvestites deal with. But I didn't really care for it. I think he might have won the best foreign language Oscar for that when it came out, but it didn't really grab me. The opening did, the beginning of it did, but it went in a completely different. It took a different story than what I expected, a different path than what I expected. All right, number eight, I'm gonna go with. Okay, let me check real quick. I know I said number 6 or 7 was Volver, but I'm gonna put Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down before Volver, because it also stars Antonio Banderas, and it's about a kidnapper who kidnaps this actress, this porno actress, and it has a sex scene in it that's really real, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is real, because it seems like they really were having sex, and I just really like it for Antonio Banderas' acting in it. You really believe he's this tormented, young, insecure dude who just wants some female attention, and he goes to some extremes to do it. But it's really it's an interesting film on kidnapping, but his performance in it is what really sells you on it, and I think that's the film that really gave him breakthrough, and the film that kind of opened him up, I guess, to American audiences. But yeah, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, then Volver, then All About My Mother, and then last one on the list is Bad Education. I remember when I was in college years ago, a friend talking to me about Bad Education, and now I finally saw it. Yeah, it just didn't grab me. Again, it reminded me of a Hitchcock, Brian De Palma film. I didn't know. The story just, not that it lost me, but I just wasn't interested in what happened in the story. It just didn't hold me. I think, if I can remember, it's about this actor who's looking for work. So he goes to his best friend growing up, who's now a director, and he gives him a story that he wrote. But then when you watch the movie, it turns out that the actor is really the brother of the childhood friend that the director grew up with. It's really, and then it's just a web of just a lot of different things, and a lot of mistaken identities and double identities, and I just didn't go for it. But still, all in all, Almodóvar is a genius and just a master in cinema. And I might do another video where I talk about just his work a little deeper, in terms of maybe re-examining the films that I just saw of his, but also looking at his signature things that he does, because he loves the color red. His characters are often going to the cinema or talking about cinema. The camera moves are sort of intense, and especially in All About My Mother, there's a shot where it's under a character is writing on a piece of paper, and the camera's like underneath the clear glass table. So it's interesting, his camera positions and camera movements, and then his films also usually have sex in them, and it's just really intriguing how he deals with sex, and how his characters, women and men, they're very free when they're talking about sex. So in terms of sex in cinema, I like the way that he does it. I like the way that he depicts it. And slowly I've been kind of changing my mind in terms of sex in cinema, because I'm kind of a prude, and I think sex belongs in pornos, but I'm coming around to sort of sex in cinema can be artistic. He also has a film coming out in the New York Film Festival with Antonio Banderas. It's called Pain and Glory, which I'm definitely going to see. And I'll come back regularly to talk about Almodóvar and just break down his work a lot more deeply. But yeah, I really love it. All right, peace.